A federal judge ruled that Harvard is allowed to continue discriminating against prospective Asian students on the basis of their race. This is what Harvard is doing. For their admissions process, Harvard requires that Asian students have an SAT score that is 140 points higher than white students, 270 points higher than Latino students, and 450 points higher than black students in order to gain admission to the school. This is based only on the race of these Asian students, that the standards are different and more difficult. And if that's not racial discrimination, I don't know what it is. Nonetheless, the federal court judge, her name is Allison Burroughs, ruled that, quote, the court finds no persuasive documentary evidence of any racial animus or conscious prejudice against Asian Americans. Madam Judge, with all due respect, do you need me to read the scores to you again? Asian students have to score 450 points higher on the SAT than black students to get into Harvard. And Harvard themselves doesn't deny that they discriminate against Asian students. They just argue that such discrimination is necessary and good to provide their students with a diverse environment. I have a lot of questions about this, though. Why are the Democrats silent about this racial discrimination? Asians have been treated terribly in our country's history. Asians were forced into internment camps, for goodness sake, by Democrats' beloved President FDR. They were exploited for their labor, and now, after Asian Americans have overcome that oppression to achieve at extremely high levels, especially in academia, the Democrats have no problem with discriminating against Asians who want to go to Harvard based on their race. Now, you might be thinking, well, this is a jerk move by Harvard, but they are a private school, so they have a right to admit or deny any students based on any standards that they want. And I get that argument, but let me ask you this. Do you think Harvard should receive taxpayer funding if they use race as a determining factor in admissions in a way that discriminates against a minority race? Do you want your money going to a school that denies entry to students based on the student's race? And this is the real kicker. Guess how much federal funding Harvard gets every year? And when I say federal funding, I, of course, mean your taxpayer dollars. Guess how much? $1 million? $2 million? $10 million? Nope. Harvard receives $500 million of taxpayer funding every year. $500 million of your hard-earned money. And until they quit their racial discrimination against prospective Asian students, I don't think they should see a dime of that. So tell your congressman to defund colleges like Harvard until and unless they stop discriminating against Asians. And that's my final point.